take a seat wherever you're comfortable.
Here?
Yeah, that works for you.
Alright.
Whatever. My name is Miss Babbitt, and if you feel comfortable, you can call me Lily, if it makes you feel any better.
I don't want to be here. You have like no service in your office.
Yeah, well, we typically don't really keep that much service in here, so we can get to know each other better and be more comfortable with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can see that you don't want to be here today.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be here. I'm scared, I'm nervous.
What are you nervous for?
I don't want to be here.
I get that. Therapy is very challenging, but it's also a great tool for you, and it's already amazing that you did come in today. Even though you don't want to be here, it's a major step that you did come in today.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I also see that you took a survey that was sent to you prior to coming in, and I just want to say that, again, you are very brave for coming in today.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm scared.
Well, I just want you to know that this is a safe place for you, and I want you to be comfortable in whatever you tell me, and everything you tell me stays between us, unless I have a feeling that you are going to hurt either yourself or someone else. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So anything you say will stay between us, and if I think there's any harm coming to you or someone else, I will have to report. But other than that, safe place for you to say what's on your mind.
Okay. I mean, so this is my first time here.
Yeah, I saw that in your file that you've gone to therapy before. Did you not like that therapy place?
No. So, my therapist was so rude. Okay, let me tell you about this lady. I went in there and she's like, "What are you coming in for?" And I was like, well, I don't want to be here. And she's like, "Well, if you don't want to be here, then you don't have to be here. You can leave." And I sat there and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I did not like my counseling with her, and then my mom made me go again the second time, and she just sat there and looked at me and said, "Okay, what's wrong with you?" And I was like, "Well, there's a lot of things wrong with me." And she made me cry, and I never went back because it was just an awful experience with her.
Well, I'm very sorry that you had such a terrible experience there. I hope that this experience goes better for you.
Mm-hmm.
And just so you know, crying is okay at therapy. It's great to let it out. If you're feeling upset, just let it out. We have tissues right here if you need them.
Thank you. She made me uncomfortable when I cried. She just kind of looked at me like, "Why are you crying?" It was just an uncomfortable situation. I like it.
Well, just let me know if at any moment you become uncomfortable, and we'll stop where we are. We'll let you get back into the groove, and if you're ready to continue, we will. If not, you can just end it there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. I see that you're here because you wanted to talk about your PTSD you're experiencing.
Yeah, sometimes at night I have flashbacks to a very bad night that I had.
Are you comfortable with elaborating on that?
Yeah, well, when I was 16, I was raped, and I think that because of that, I'm scared to be alone with a man. I don't like being in the room alone with a man. It scares me a lot because I don't know what they will do.
What part about being alone with them scares you? Is it just being in a general area as a man, or something else?
I'm scared that they will hurt me, or that they're gonna, harm me just because, well, this other guy, he was a friend and he hurt me. So then I think, oh, what if this stranger hurts me too? So I never know what their intent is with me.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, I get where you're coming from. It would be scary to go back into that, like, group setting. Do you want to tell me more about the sexual assault if you're comfortable with it?
Yeah, it's a very hard story for me to talk about. So I was 16, and it was a friend of mine, and he would always give me a ride to school, and always would be like, "Oh yeah, like I can take you." Like I lived so close to the school that like on rainy days, instead of me walking in puddles and I hate wet socks, and I'd get to school with wet socks. So he'd just be like, I'll pick you up, and then like whatever. And one morning he's like, yeah, I'll pick you up, and then he took me for a ride around town, like before school, and takes me to go get coffee in the morning. And I was like, okay, whatever, like this is fine. And then he takes me to a place that I didn't recognize, and he was like kind of peer pressuring me into doing drugs. I did not want to do it, and he was like, here you go, and kind of just puts it in my mouth, and it was marijuana laced with, I don't know what was in there, because I don't remember much of that morning, and I just remember just bits and pieces of him hurting me. I was telling him to stop, and I kept telling him no, and afterwards, he dropped me back off at home. I went home, and then I walked to school. It was raining, but I walked to school, and I was just in a lot of pain. I was feeling really sick because I don't do drugs, and I did drugs, and my body was like not reacting well, so I started throwing up at school, and it was scary, and all I kept thinking to myself is like, this is my friend, and it was really hurtful to see that a friend would do that to me. That's why I have trust issues with other men.
Well, I can see why you would have trust issues. Have you had like any relationships since this has happened?
Yeah, I had one, but it didn't last. It was only for a few months.
Why do you think it didn't last?
Well, I was very insecure. He was a very physical touch person. He liked to be all touchy and hugs, and I like physical touch when I want it, and he liked that all the time. I only like it sometimes. And he would be very touchy, and it made me uncomfortable, and he would get mad if he came in for a kiss on the cheek. I would move. He kind of was like, okay, or whatever, and he'd walk away, and so he kind of got tired of that.
Yeah, I mean, from your story, physical touch can be a major trigger for you. Do you think that are you gonna be okay with ever going into another relationship again?
I think so, if they understand the situation, which I don't know if I'm comfortable with opening up to another person about this, especially another man.
Yeah.
Scary, just again, it was the person I trusted, so I don't know if I'm ready yet, which is why I'm here, because I don't know how to get over my fear, and it gives me a lot of anxiety.
And I think that coming in and talking about this and working on a plan to get you more comfortable with this is a great step forward in your progress. When you were in this past relationship, did you mention to him about your story?
He had heard rumors because the guy who did that to me was bragging about it to his friends. So he knew his side of the story, and when he asked me, I started crying, and he just never asked again because I think he felt uncomfortable.
Has anything happened with the person who did this to you since?
He moved away to a different state, and when I confronted him, I tried to confront him, he just laughed and deleted me on social media, so I don't know where he is or what's going on. But I don't think he sees any wrong in his actions.
Well, I mean, it is a good thing that you did try to confront him. I think it's very brave of you for doing that. And also, I would try thinking of him being in a different state is sort of a blessing in a way. You don't have to see him. And I get that it's hard, he's not taking responsibility for what he did. And I get that's hard, but I think what you're doing is really, really strong. You're coming in and wanting to be so open with someone. And I'm very grateful that you are comfortable with me telling me the story. And I think that you and I will set up a great plan and we'll get you moving in the direction think that was good.